Hi everyone, and welcome to Panquake.com's June delivery event. This is our 5th consecutive monthly delivery event, and we have promised you that we will be here every month to deliver cool stuff. We have never failed you to date. We have been here on time every month with more amazing developments on our project, and tonight is no different. Tonight we are going to see some incredible things that are going to be game-changing for people like us who care about internet privacy, about security, about freedom of information and freedom of speech. I'm Suzie Dawson. You probably know me by now. I will be joined tonight by OBrien, our privacy advisor, and also by the gorgeous and talented Taylor Hudak. I'm going to kick off this presentation the same way that I do every single month, by taking us through some of our key campaign statistics. So as you all know by now, we have confirmed that absolutely there is a product in development that will be delivered to you. But the big question is when? And the answer to that question is determined by people donating to push forward this campaign. We are 100% financed by you, by our community, by our peers. We do not accept any corporate investment, any private investment. We do not accept money from any government or any security agency or any other interest, only from you, our community. So if you want to help to propel this forward, please do so by visiting gogetfunding.com/panquake. So these are our key metrics for the campaign, and this month we've decided to show you last month's statistics alongside this month so that you can get some idea of the progress that is being made. We are now 23 weeks since we launched our campaign, when we came to you with an idea, with a concept, said this is what we want to do, are you interested? And you overwhelmingly showed us, yes you are, yes you want this. We have 30 members on our team. We have 6 full-time contracting staff and 4 part-time contracting staff working every single day to progress the Panquake build. We also have 20 amazing volunteers who very generously give their time to push this build forward. We have 23 updates on our campaign page, on our Go Get Funding page. And this, in the course of the last month, we have increased our total donors by 270. Which is an increase of 127 on last month, which is excellent. So 270 new donors this month have brought in $9,733, up from the $5,358 that we earned in May. Now, I'm sure you've probably heard, if you've seen what's going on my Twitter timeline anyway, that PayPal have unfortunately been messing us around since May the 13th and have refused to pay out any of the donations that we had received via that mechanism. I just want to be really clear that PayPal is one of 2 payment services that is integrated on Go Get Funding's platform. PayPal is not our provider of choice. It just happened to be one of the only 2 ways that people could pay money in through gogetfunding.com. Go Get Funding themselves are actually very activist friendly. I would say they're the best of the crowdfunding platforms in terms of attitude towards activists or political causes. And so I'm actually very happy with them as a provider. I think they've been great. However, PayPal have totally let us down by taking our donors' money, but not passing it on to us for the last 6+ weeks, and not being able to come up with any reasonable explanation whatsoever as to why they're doing that. They have really just stolen our time and your money for the last 6 weeks. And subsequently, yesterday, we pulled the plug on them and put a press release out about that. So we don't have to worry anymore that donors' funds will be taken by PayPal, because we have eradicated PayPal from the equation. But if you had donated to us via PayPal since May 13th, I absolutely urge you to go and request a refund and to let people know what your thoughts and feelings are about PayPal basically just taking our donor money in a really immoral way, in my personal opinion. Okay, moving along, we have gained 255 new Twitter followers. We have broken the 4K mark, so we now have 4,031 people following the main Panquake Twitter account. According to Facebook, I find these Facebook statistics frankly laughable. According to Facebook, we've had 21 new likes on our Facebook page. I don't put any stock whatsoever in those figures or in Facebook itself, actually. We've held now 7 public events. This is our 7th. And I have done 18 independent media appearances to promote Panquake. Now into the cool geeky stuff. Last month, we told you that we'd restructured our Git, that we had tasked our developers along the full development pathway, that we'd begun infrastructure scoping, that we had begun working out configuration specifications for our infrastructure, and that coding would begin on June the 5th. Well, I am extremely happy and proud to confirm that that coding has been happening and has been happening at a record pace by comparison to what I would have expected. We are right now coding the core of our application. We are also coding the servers and the services on which our application will run. We have begun taking preliminary steps of building out our network, and we have scoped our public infrastructure. That public infrastructure is part of the decentralization mechanisms that will guarantee that there is no single point of failure that could bring down Panquake's network. And I'll let Sean O'Brien talk a little bit more about that shortly, as that's definitely one of his specialty areas. We've also been doing intense amounts of high-level academic and practical research into everything that has probably ever been published about our proof of authority blockchain consensus algorithm and related blockchain research documents. We have been scouring academic papers. We have been looking at all different types of implementations around BFT, of which there are many. And we've begun this process of modeling our blockchain to make sure that we're using exactly the right configurations to achieve what we want to for our chain. So I'm absolutely thrilled with how quickly it's moving. In a month's time, I expect to have a couple of really big announcements around the development progress, because the application is taking shape, and we are not far. We're about 2 weeks off hitting some pretty major milestones that I will be thrilled to tell you all about next month. But for now, our devs are working hard. They're working well. I'm very, very, very pleased with their competencies and their dedication. Okay, I'm going to invite Sean on right now to speak about some of what he has been up to, and also to give his recent experience with the development team, architecture, and everything else he's been involved in. Hi, Sean. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Susie. So, as you mentioned, it's a really exciting time for us. We are getting down to the brass tacks. So, it's fun. It's really different. We're daring to do things that other applications sometimes talk about, but we are going to deliver them. So, you mentioned, of course, we're coding our core. We're working on the blockchain models and talking about, different consensus algorithms and so on, with very important ethics involved and focuses such as censorship circumvention, right? We want to make sure we don't have points of failure. We want to make sure that people are going to be able to get around blocks in their network. We want to have real decentralization. We also want to make sure that users are in control of their own information. Of course, the promise which we've had since the start, which we are keeping with Panquake, is that users will be in control of their own private information. So we are coming up with some clever ways to have that happen securely, to have that happen with a web application. We've gotten a number of questions from developers and geeks and technically minded folks about how we can accomplish that. I think, as you alluded, Susie, in the next month or so, we will be answering those very concretely. So we have figured out that stuff. We're working on things like proof of concepts and so on. The peer-to-peer infrastructure is really exciting to me personally. One of the things I think, which isn't necessarily quite clear or always as comes to the front as it should, is that we are building an application which has a strong focus on peer-to-peer connections. We want users to connect to each other, to be able to communicate over this network without an intermediary having to control that. Of course, we're going to authenticate users, right? Of course, we have a subscription model, which also, we have compassionate accounts and so on. But we want to make sure that we're still putting power in the hands of the users. So really exciting stuff. I don't want to take up too much time, but we've brought on new devs. All the documentation, all the stuff we've talked about in those other delivery meetings has really borne amazing results. We can bring people on, show them the model, and very quickly they're able to get into the mix and really get their hands dirty and help us build this thing. So I'm very excited to see this come to fruition. And I think shortly, very soon, there's going to be a lot of very happy geeks out there. So.
Sean, we've alluded in the past to our secret source, the existence of our secret source, and also explained why it is that we didn't want to talk about that prematurely. I do just want to be really clear that although we are learning more about certain aspects of blockchain in particular, because we want to make sure that we know everything there is to know about the school in particular, we have had a very firm grasp for some time now around the real networking innovations that we're implementing. And certainly, I think by next delivery meeting, we will finally be able to reveal some of the specific methods that we are employing to achieve the types of things that you were just talking about. That is exciting. But for me, I think I'm also going to be coming back here and being able to say, hey, we've now passed proof of concept. We now have built core key components of the Panquake application. And that's a milestone that is just absolutely huge for all of us who've been around from the beginning when this was just an idea, just a concept, just some architectural designs, and then to get to the point where we've been coding for some time now, and now we will actually have completed some physical parts of Panquake is just absolutely huge, and it all just bears really good signs for the future as well.
And Suzie, I just want to emphasize there, as you said, yes, we have a very firm grasp of what we're doing as far as the model, but we're building for scale, right? So we're doing a lot of really cool stuff, but we're also thinking about performance and how we're going to bring in, thousands, millions of users. So those nuts and bolts are very cool, but it takes some time to work through, and that's basically what we're doing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was our lead dev who said a couple of months ago, we're not cutting any corners. And that is absolutely the case. We have not cut any corners. We also have not made any compromise on our promises or on our ethics. And I'm really proud of that because I wouldn't be on this project otherwise. And I'm very happy with how passionate everybody is about making sure that we really deliver on everything that we said that we would. It's just been a wonderful journey, and I can't wait to see where we're at next month and the following month, and after that in particular, it's going to be massive. Yep. Okay, so I would like to talk now about just again, I always in these meetings I love to revisit like what we said last month or what we said the month before, because I want to show people that we're actually accountable to what we say. We're not just coming on and saying some nonsense and then going away and forgetting about it. But we actually follow up on every single thing that we promise. We follow up on everything that we tell our community we will do. Well, we have done that in a big way in the last month. So I just want to revisit the marketing slide that I showed you all last month, which is here. We talked about how we were going to launch Talk Liberation in June, that it would be a weekly show covering big tech censorship, freedom of speech, privacy, and security issues. We also talked about launching a Substack account. Well, we have done that and much more. We also talked about wanting to launch a shop and showed you some of our ideas around merchandise for that. Well, when we did our due diligence on commercial suppliers and particularly even unfortunately open source e-commerce platforms, we discovered that none of them had the types of privacy features that we would want to use to protect our customers and our users. And so Sean has devised to build from scratch natively on the panquake.com site itself, rather than just plugging in some software from somewhere else or integrating with a commercial service. We're actually building our own shop from scratch. And that is going to provide services to our customers, which we cannot get them externally. So it's going to take a bit more time than I thought to launch the shop, but there is going to be no shortage of things to keep you occupied in the meantime, because we have, in fact, as promised, launched here and ready to launch Talk Liberation and the Talk Liberation Substacks. And I know many of you love the Panquake logo. The Panquake logo itself is quite iconic and has been adopted by many people around the internet who've been inspired by it and by our project. Well, now I would like to show you this, the Talk Liberation logo. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of this iconography in the coming weeks and employed in some really visually stunning ways. And to tell you a bit more about what is going on with Talk Liberation, I'm really, really pleased, it's my great pleasure tonight, to announce Talk Liberation, Your Worldwide Internet Report, a new web series presented by our very own Taylor Hudak. Talk Liberation, Your Worldwide Internet Report is a groundbreaking new weekly newsletter and video webcast that will be delivered to you like clockwork from our new Substack. And Taylor is here to tell you all about it. Taylor, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Taylor, tell our community about Talk Liberation, Your Worldwide Internet Report, and what you will be bringing to them in this coming week.
Absolutely. It's a very exciting new endeavor. And Suzie, I know that you and your team created Panquake because you understood this very complicated, and you could call it a love-hate relationship between social media users and these platforms. And of course, all of us love using social media, but we don't necessarily love how social media uses us, you could say. And of course, there are many players who are manipulating the laws and the fine print. And we have essentially become the product when it comes to these big tech platforms. And essentially, they take our data and then sell that to third parties, as well as these companies basically viewing us in the users as an entity to which they can advertise to constantly. And then they'll even go as far as to manipulate what content we can and cannot see. Now, it goes without saying that the internet environment is always changing. However, it's not always changing necessarily in our favor. So tech giants get away with this when we are ignorant and unaware of the certain tactics that they are using. And I think that we can all agree, of course, that our best defense is having knowledge and information, as well as recognizing and resisting their devious strategies. Of course, everybody watching right now does not have the time to be staying up to date on the latest information as it relates to big tech platforms, social media, and the internet in general. But we do have the time, and we are putting in the research hours so you can understand what's important with the online sphere and the internet. And by subscribing to talkliberation.substack.com, you will get updates straight to your inbox. Every week, you will receive 2 updates, specifically a news article, which will cover the latest developments as it relates to the internet, as I said, as well as a new episode, which really brings these stories to life. And then occasionally we will also have special guest interviews and some bonus content. Again, your subscription will provide you with high quality articles and information and interviews with a focus on technology, politics, privacy law, surveillance, and data. And then just for a small $5 a month and a discount of $50 per year, you can subscribe to Talk Liberation Substack, but join our community, and that way you can have a more active role in shaping our future as it relates to the internet.
Incredible. And the news that we are bringing you with Talk Liberation, Your Worldwide Internet Report, is too important for us to look at behind a paywall. So we have made, again, an ethical decision not to do that. However, those who elect to join the Talk Liberation community are the engine that will keep this machine running. So we'd like you to step up and be counted. Subscribe now. You choose what you can afford. And best of all, by subscribing to your weekly internet report, you'll be indirectly supporting Panquake. And that's the solution that we've all been waiting for.
Of course. So I hope that you all will join us. And what's so exciting about this, and specifically becoming a community member to our Talk Liberation community, is that you can directly interact with me as well as other people who are a part of this group. And you could do that via the community section of our Substack page. And again, visit talkliberation.substack.com. You can give me feedback, ask questions, share your thoughts, and also be a part of a community of people who think the same way that you do. This is really an important first step to taking back the internet and creating an internet that is for all of us and that serves the people.
Now, Taylor, Talk Liberation is catering to other parts of the world beyond just the English-speaking sphere, is it not?
Yes, so our articles and videos will also be published in Spanish, Portuguese, German, French, and Norwegian.
That is huge. And I know how much work you and our team have been putting into delivering this incredible new show. Thank you so much for all your hard work. I know many in our community will be so excited to see the first article and video episode when they get published this week.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Suzie, and our entire team. And I look forward to seeing all of you at talkliberation.substack.com. Thanks again.
Thank you, Taylor. And we have an absolutely incredible short promo video that has been prepared for the launch of Talk Liberation, your worldwide internet report. We'll be playing that at the end of the segment, and then we'll be pumping it out of all of our social media channels. The production quality is frankly off the charts. It's the greatest media product that we've developed to date. And I'm just absolutely thrilled for you all to get to see it. So keep an eye out for that at the end of this event. In the meantime, I'm going to jump into our regular State of the Business report. This month it is from our outreach coordinator, our relationship manager for Panquake. Bear with me while I screen share. And this is her testimony. She says, I remember when I first got to see Panquake behind the scenes, it immediately hit me that this was going to revolutionize the entire social media space as we know it. When I was offered a position as Panquake's relationship manager, I knew right away that it was an opportunity to be on the ground floor of something transformational that will have a massive industry impact. As a content creator that's felt the wrath of big tech through censorship, shadow banning, and shady algorithms, I know that if I want to fix the problem, I must become part of the solution. Now I spend my days working to expand Panquake's reach, endorses, relationships, and media appearances with the understanding that I am a small part of helping put the power back in the hands of you, the user. From having no ads to no collecting or selling of user data to no censorship to absolute control over what content you see in your timeline, compassionate accounts, and complete transparency through the blockchain, the reasons for choosing Panquake are crystal clear. Freedom of speech is one of the most consequential rights a human being can have. And with all of the censorship seen from big tech, mainstream media, and corporate interests, it's no wonder that people are ready for change. If you believe in a better tomorrow, a world where freedom of speech is not crushed by a nameless, faceless oligarch, then it's time for you to get involved just like I did and become part of the solution with us. It's time to make social media what it was always meant to be from the beginning, a place to express yourself freely and connect with others around the globe. Go to panquake.com today and support us to help build a better tomorrow. Si se puede. That was from our Panquake relationship manager. You'll have to excuse my terrible Spanish, but I'm very happy to tell you that we have much better Spanish speakers than me, fluent Spanish speakers, producing content for Talk Liberation, your worldwide internet report. You will get to see that if you go to Talk Liberation, SPA for Spanish, SPA, Talk Liberation SPA.substack.com. And throughout this week, we'll be rolling out the Portuguese, German, French, and Norwegian content as well. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so how I like to close off every delivery event is by checking out our delivery calendar. And here we are. We have achieved tonight our 5th public delivery event. That means we will be back on July the 31st, the final Saturday of July, with another huge delivery for you. So please join us again at the end of July, but please follow through the journey with us on social media between now and then. I love hearing all of your comments, love seeing your emails, love you being a part of what we're doing. It's incredible to me to think that it was only January when we were presenting this concept to the public, and that we're here in June, 5 months later, with a whole development team coding away to build this application every single day, that we're launching new media products, that we're fleshing out our product and our design every single day. It's just been an absolutely amazing journey. The big push for me right now is that we get through to that 167K. I think we've only got 32K to go. And the second that we hit the 167K target on our Go Get Funding page, we will be able to move into the delivery phase of Panquake's project. That is the third and final phase. Once we get into that and then we meet that target, we are done and dusted with our fundraising, and we will be delivering our beta application. So please, let's rally together, let's pull together. Never mind these corporations that are trying to screw us. We together are strong enough to overcome this. We have got the smarts, we've got the people, we've got the innovation, we have the tools that we need. Let's just push this forward and get into the delivery phase, because I, for one, cannot wait until I'm using Panquake. And I know that there are thousands of you that also can't wait as well. Okay, with that, I'm going to bid you adieu until next time, and I'm going to let you see this incredible new short promo video starring our very own Taylor Hudak for our new Substack, talkliberation.substack.com, your worldwide internet report. See you next time.
Issues that impact the internet impact all of us. It is an integral part of our lives, and in this time of great upheaval and change, it is the internet that binds us all together. That is why we are launching Talk Liberation, your worldwide internet report, an exciting new show where I will be presenting the week's most relevant and trustworthy headlines to keep you informed about recent developments in social media, big tech, user privacy, law, internet freedom, disinformation, data security, and biometrics. Keep up with all of these topics and more by subscribing to Talk Liberation at talkliberation.substack.com and get our content delivered to your inbox. Each week you'll receive long-form published articles as well as video content translated into 6 languages, including English, Spanish, Portuguese, German, French, and Norwegian. By subscribing to our Substack community, you will be able to interact with me directly and delve into the hot topics of the day. I can't wait to see you all there. Talk Liberation is a groundbreaking new initiative sponsored by Panquake.com. Our success is your freedom.